What's up, everybody? We're back. After the weekend, we're back for our Vengeance Paladin. I didn't upload the last stream to YouTube because I got a little salty and it wasn't good. But basically all we did was we farmed just a tiny bit. We farmed a little bit of Duriel and a little bit of the Terror Zones because we were only like level 39 or something. So now we're level 43. We gained a couple levels. As far as new pieces, I think the only thing we really got new was we have this belt, and we did find an amulet that had 14 to resist all, and half freeze duration, and then a belt that has some fire and lightning resist. So we're making some progress. We're definitely still in need of some pretty serious upgrades. We also have this secondary belt option that has cold resist and a bunch of life. We'll probably wear this when we fight Duriel, because Duriel does cold damage. But yeah, we still got our. Oh, we'll get rid of this. We have still have our magic find stuff that we could put on. But anyway, and we did find a bone helm with 2 open sockets. We haven't made anything in that yet. So let's continue on. And I think we'll do one more Duriel run and see how it goes. Again, we did reset our maps because we went back to normal and did Terror Zones for a little bit. So we'll have to rediscover where she's at, but that's all right. Double charm, huh? Okay. Some cold res, and we'll get rid of the damage one. Cold res, we could use some resistances for sure. So. Yeah, so basically at this point we're desperately trying to get some gear upgrades. We have a great weapon. We have Bonesnap, but pretty much every other piece of gear we have could be upgraded. We do have Angelic's amulet. We just don't have the ring. So if we found the ring, that would be really awesome, because that would give us a ton of attack rating, which would solve a lot of the problems we've been running into. Because the biggest issue we're running into is basically just we're not hitting enough, and that happens when you're when you're a bit underleveled, which technically, I mean, a lot of people start Nightmare around like 45 or later, especially if you're like a character that relies on attacking, because attack rating, the attack calculation includes attack rating versus defense, and then also your level versus the monster's level. So if the monsters are higher level than you, even if you have good attack rating, your ability to hit them is going to suffer. It just kind of is what it is. Cast Nova on hit, we don't need that. And so making sure that you get your levels in is a really good idea whenever you're playing a character that uses any kind of skill that uses attack rating. But yeah, so that's about, so we're gonna do. We might do Duriel just a couple of times here. Again, trying to get some kind of an upgrade. Ooh, geez, that hurt. Things we could get that would be cool would be something like a Viper Magi or something like that. Bloodfist or Sanders gloves would also be good. We currently do have gloves that have 10 IS and some cold resist on it. Also, jewelry that has resistances. That would be a big help. Boots that have faster run rock and resistances also wouldn't be bad. Although Sanders is helping us with our attack rating. And it is 40% increased fast run walk, so it's hard to beat. But our resistances are not great. The main one that's the ones that are mainly rough is the lightning and poison, which and Duriel is poison, so us farming it's a bit tough. But and lightning is going to be important as we go in Act 2 because of beetles. Each act kind of has different monsters that you kind of worry about as far as elemental, and Act 2 lightning is a big one. In Act 3 it's fire because of the Flayer shamans that spew fire on you. Okay, we got a way less good map this time, so we'll probably just do this one run. But first, let's go back to town and pre-buff, because we want to try and prevent our mercenary from dying if we can. Lightning resist. Okay, so we want to give Hazade a few of these. Each one is 30 seconds of plus 50 poison resist. So give him 2 minutes worth. Oops. Here we go. Okay, we got a couple items. We had this Okay, let's go check out what we got here. So we got Dark Glow. Gives a little bit of attack rating, defense versus missile, +5 to maximum of all resistances and 10 to all res. We might give this to our mercenary. Let's see what he's wearing. Just pass or hit recovery and some resistances. Let's see what it looks like if we put this on him. That seems much better. And then we got Ginther's Rift. Much less damage than Bonesnap, obviously, but it's a dimensional blade, so it attacks crazy fast. And it has 30% IAS, and it adds a bunch of magic damage, and magic damage reduced by 10. And it's also repair durability 1 every 5 seconds, so it's basically unbreakable. If you wanted to do the sword and board strategy, this would be a great option. You're not going to do a ton of single hit damage, but you're going to hit very, very fast, so that can also work. But we're doing the two-hander because it's cool. We got another flawless topaz as well, so we're got some wealth going on with the jewels here, or gems. And let's go ahead and sell this rare armor now that we're not going to need it. So we did find an upgrade for our mercenary, nothing for us, unfortunately. And that map isn't the best. So I think we're going to move on now. We got Shale IO Thul here. If we need to find a 3 open socket helmet, and this will give us Cannot Be Frozen. We also could go for a Shale IO Tal, or I think it's Shale IO Soul for Bulwark. Shale IO Tal is the cure. So if we need to get more runes, we will go back and farm some additional runes. But I'm not going to worry about the runes until I find the bases, because you never know. We could find the runes organically and not have to worry about doing Countess. Oh yeah, and then we also have these items in here. The battle branch, if we didn't have an insight, this would be fine, but we do, so. This is another, you could put some like damage stuff in here, and this would actually be pretty good for a one-hander as well, because it also is very fast attack speed. But I think if we'll hang on to Ginther's Rift in case we decide to do a one-hand setup. But I think we're gonna stick with the two-hander, especially since we have Bonesnap, because Bonesnap's awesome. So we're gonna do Radamit real quick if we can. Drop some frames there. Sorry about that. I don't know what's causing that. All right, looks like the entrance is the stairs is the other direction. Because in this map, it's usually like right at the, if you go in on that side rather than the trapdoor over by the mercenaries, it's very close to the door like 99% of the time. +6 to mana. We'll hang on to it for now. We're probably gonna end up selling that because we don't really need it, but if it had something else on, like some resistance, that would be great. Excuse me. Ooh, Great Maul. Just one socket. So yeah, things we're looking for at this point, 3 open socket helmets, 3 open socket armor, various uniques or set items would be great. For example, Duriel shell would be absolutely amazing. 2-piece deaths would be amazing. The belt and the gloves. Go ahead and heal while we're here. Found the waypoints, might as well use it. Excuse me. Another Grand Charm. Magic Find. If that was a small charm with 5%, I would keep that. But a large charm, I don't really want to take up that much inventory space for 5% Magic Find. Watch out for these Marauder guys. They can be pretty dangerous because when they glow red, they get like a bunch of damage increase. So far we're cruising through the sewer. And again, the reason we're doing a Rodament is because we want that extra +1 skill. Any amount of skills is always helpful. I mean, yes, we're not a caster, so we're not like full in on plus the skills. There's other things that are more valuable to us, like damage, like attack damage. But we're not going to turn down plus the skills, and so Rodament's a great thing to do. Alright, let's try and lure these guys away a little bit. And I do have cold damage, so I'm shattering some of them. Perfect. Okay, so with our new skill, let's take a look. We have our Vengeance maxed, and our synergies are Resist Fire, Resist Cold, Resist Lightning, Salvation, and then of course the aura we're using is Conviction. And we're focusing on Fire and Lightning, and then Conviction. So I'll go ahead and put a point here. Enemy defense minus 66% now, resist all minus 45%. So basically our Vengeance is doing essentially 45% more damage for each element. So that's great. Unless they're like completely immune, then, you know. So one chipped ruby would be great because it'll clear up a ton of space. So Alright, so next let's go outside of the castle, or the palace walls, city walls. And we are using charge mainly as a movement skill, just because it's so much easier to charge around the map than anything else. Okay, I'm good. We can kill him before that ticked. We get some Mage Fist here, or no, these are Frost Burns. So this would fix our mana problem, but we already kind of have that fixed with Insight. It also gives us a little bit of damage, so let's take a look and see what our damage looks like. Not a ton. And we lose our cold res and our attack speed. So we're not going to wear these, but Frostburns are very, very cool. So, and depending on what you found, you may want to wear them if you find them. Okay, so now we're in the Rocky Waste. We can kind of skip past this because we don't need to do the, I almost said Den of Evil, the Halls of the Dead, because we did it in normal, so we don't have to do it again. I'm having some kind of a, yeah, anyway. Light's gonna turn on me on anytime soon here. Oh no, I'm still in the dry hills. Okay, I have a little bit of time. Oh, perfect timing. Alright, so let's grab our... And again, I think we'll go one more point of conviction for now. And let's go up to the 85 strength. That way, if we do want to use the... if we want to switch to the one-hander, use Ginther's Rift, we have the option. Normally I run past Sleepers because they piss me off, but those ones are champions, and so it's worth it. Otherwise, they're generally, I find, not worth killing because they're very annoying and they don't give you a ton of XP. I think I had a moment of I mentioned it in an earlier stream, so for folks who aren't aware, I do have a mild form of narcolepsy, so I do have a tendency to like nod out for like a few seconds. So I apologize if that happens, but if I just kind of like stop moving or like start running into a wall, that's why. But my new medication, in theory, is supposed to help with it, but you know, it doesn't seem to be helping yet. But it's, you know, I've only been taking it for 2 days, so hasn't had the chance to really do its thing. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Jeez, just a lot of whiffer right there. So again, you could clear out Halls of the Dead if you wanted like some XP, but we don't need to do it because we already have the cube. You can only have one. It's like a super unique item, so. Now it would be cool if like kind of gave an incentive to go and do it again. Like if there was, I know there's like a golden chest in there, but it's not like a real golden. It's not like a super chest or a real super chest or anything, or a golden chest, because it's just got like the cube, and when you already have the cube, it's just kind of like random crap comes out of it. That's not good. But giving some kind of incentive to go in there would be cool for Nightmare in Hell. But I also get why they chose not to do that. So. Interesting thing I came across the other day. So I logged into. I was going to play some Hearthstone, because I've been getting back into that over the weekend. And when I clicked on it, there was a, you know, that was like pop-ups in Blizzard's client or whatever, and it's like, hey, you can play. Please reinstall Diablo 4. You can play for the new expansion for a week for free trial. So I was like, okay, well maybe I'll give it a shot. You know, I haven't played since season like 2 or 3 or something, so I was gonna reinstall it, but then I went to reinstall it. It's 170 gigs. What? Like, that's insanely huge. Like my 2 biggest games, like XCOM 2 and something else that I have a ton of saves and stuff on, and just like my 2 biggest games, I don't think combined to that. Not counting some games I don't have installed, like Baldur's Gate 3 is enormous, but it's even bigger than Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is only 144 gigs. That's wild to me. Like, how is it the game's so just gigantic? Because it doesn't seem that huge. At least it did when I played it. So again, like I haven't played it in a long time, so it could be all the updates have added a ton of stuff. So you know, what do I know? But it just seems like. Let's see if we can save him. Oh, he leveled up. Perfect. Good job, Hazaid. You almost died. Oh yeah, fun fact, if you kill champions in this game, they are like super inclined to drop rejuves. So if you're running low on these purple rejuve potions, kill every champion pack you see, and you'll find them, no problem. There's this poison shrine, I'll take that. Oh, sorry, so we're looking for the maggot lair. Maggot lair is gonna be, it's gonna suck, because well, actually, you know, honestly, it shouldn't suck as much for us as some other builds because, you know, we're only fighting monsters one at a time anyway. And so the fact that we're in a narrow hallway and we can only hit one thing at a time doesn't really matter for us. As opposed to, like if you're like a hammered in, you're in there, you're screwed because, like, you don't have any path to throw your hammers. There's that. Okay, 10 to life and 40 worth of resistances. I think we take it. So now our cold is completely maxed out, which means we could probably, like, switch our gloves, right? Let's look at this Roan Dash for to wear with Ginthers. We could try it. Prevent monster heal. Now, prevent monster heal, if you were playing online and there's a realistic chance that you'll spawn like a declone because you're playing on ladder or something, you actually want to hang on to at least one item that has one weapon that has prevent monster heal on it, because that way when declone spawns, you can whack him with it and then he won't heal for, it'll turn his healing off for like a long time, and then you can actually like realistically kill him even if with a weaker character. Prevent monster heal does not work on Ubers, but it does work on declone, and it makes it so characters that aren't really good, like Uber killers, can kill him pretty easily if you, or much easier anyway, if you have the cannot be frozen tech. So just fun facts to keep you informed. There's the maggot lair. But yeah, we should do okay in here. Again, we're not like having to cast in a big radius or anything, so we should be fine. And we'll just stand in this doorway and just whack some dudes. A lightning enchanted beetle, that's kind of redundant. Give that to his aid. Impossible? No, impossible. Okay. Okay, so we came in facing this way. So if we turn left and then left, this should be the way to go, right? In Maggot Lair, left is law. Generally. Except for the final level, you want to go as far to the top right corner of the screen as possible, because it's always, the cold barm is always in this direction. Like as far over this way as you can get. But the first two levels, I'm pretty sure it's left is law. but maybe I'm wrong. A holy water sprinkler. That might be worth money, but money's not really a problem anymore. We were super broke after we bought our tele staff because it was 150,000 and we only had like 170,000 or something one time we bought it. But we've rebuilt our coffers after we farmed Eldritch for levels in normal. Okay, so let's see what actually we came in. I guess left as law did kind of work. So we just stuck to left. Yeah, it wasn't a super clean left as law, but it kind of got there. Gray Shank. Now, a unique Fuskina would be great because that would be Kelpie Snare. And Kelpie Snare basically gives us free rolls of bosses, but especially Bale. Like if our Merc hits Bale with the Kelpie Snare, he's just gonna stand there. Especially once we hit him with Vengeance, because then he'll take cold damage, and then he'll literally just stand there. He'll move around like he's trying to cast spells and stuff, but he can't actually finish casting anything because he's too slow, and so he just will flail around and nothing happens. Sometimes there is a visual bug that looks like he's shooting his his like mana drain spell. But it doesn't hurt you and doesn't do anything. So, if he's slowed enough, and I think you have to slow him by like it's like over 50%, but it's actually not that hard to do. Like I think like if you have like Decrepify plus cold damage, I'm pretty sure it does the same thing. But Kelpie Snare is the easiest because you're a mercenary, you can just sit there and whack him. $22 to life. Okay. We're getting through the Magalar pretty easily. Again, we're fighting. We're a fighter type character, so we just pretty much click and go. Any wrestling fans in the chat? Pro wrestling. I just saw that WWE released more wrestlers today. They released LA Knight and Bayley. I think that's specifically with Bayley. I think that's a huge mistake. She's amazing, and the fact that they haven't used her for anything in quite a while is just stupid. She's like one of the very best female wrestlers of all time. And so if she goes to AEW and re-hooks up with Mercedes Monet and does like either does a program with her or maybe tags with her or whatever, that's going to do gangbusters. So why they I don't know. I do not understand the thinking process of the leadership over there sometimes. Okay. Let's go ID. There we go. He almost died. Identify. Alright. So we are going to get rid of that. We'll get rid of the... We'll keep this on backup. And get rid of that one. We don't need this jewel. A big old repair bill. We don't need the venom grips anymore. Actually, the magic fine gloves are probably irrelevant. Yeah. We're not going to use Frostburn. We'll get rid of those. So let's take a look at what we would be looking like if we used if we used Ginthers instead of Bonesnap. So our resistances are aids. Hey, how am I doing? Yeah, yeah, let me go ahead and put in a link for the Discord for you so you can add me and you can join the chat. We have, or join the Discord group. We're always looking for folks to join, so let me go ahead and get that sent over to you. Give me 1 second. Invite, copy link, and then bring up chat. So go ahead and, if you'd like, you can go ahead and add me on there, and that'll join the Discord. Happy to have you watching. So if we check out, this will be the difference if we use between Ginther and Bonesnap. So we lose about 600 damage on the low end and the high end, but we can socket this and we could socket this and then put in runes and potentially make a rune word. And I think this would roll, depending on how many sockets this would roll. We could either make a Ancient's Pledge or a Spirit. But for now, we'll go ahead and keep Ginthers in the stash. Got another P diamond, or P emerald. So and we'll get rid of that. Actually, let's get rid of the magic fine ones. We don't need those anymore. Do we have a soul rune? We do not. So to say we could make Ort's soul for in this and give ourselves a lore, which would give us some lightning resist and +1 to skills. That's kind of it. I don't know if that's worth it. We don't have a tier rune, because if we had a tier rune, we could put Nef tier in there. We could make it a Nadir, which would give us Cloak of Shadows charges, which I think has more value. We'll hang on to the gloves for now. Alright, now we need to make our way to the Claw Viper Temple. I'm gonna go grab a glass of water. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. So let's go ahead and make our way to the Claw Viper Temple. I'm actually really proud of his aide for not dying in that one room with Cold Worm. Usually when she explodes, she like super poisoned him, and I'm surprised he didn't die. There's a Knout, if only it was socketed. Knouts are another really good one-handed weapon base. They attack super fast, and they do decent damage. Now in Hell, these itchies are immune to physical, and we do not care about immunities whatsoever with our build, because we do basically every type of damage. We don't do magic and we don't do poison. We do every other kind of damage, so we do not care if things are immune to whatever. Immune to fire and lightning would be the biggest pain in our ass, but we still would do physical and cold to them. It just wouldn't be as much as we're doing to. Because those are our two biggest sources of damage, is the fire and the lightning. So if we fight a monster that's immune to both of those, then yeah, our damage is going to be considerably less, but still. The other reason to do the lore is really for the conviction buff. There's Saigons. We don't have any other pieces, I don't think. Right? But if we found other pieces, Saigons would also be really good. Saigons is a great... It's probably like, as far as like the very, very early game sets, it's probably the best one. It or Arathas. Arathas isn't bad either. They both give it just a shitload of resistances and stuff. Like if you're wearing full Saigons and you're in normal, like you're pretty much unkillable. It just takes up so many slots. Like it takes up pretty much everything except for your jewelry and your weapon. But if you use just like individual pieces, like for example the gloves and the boots would be great, because that would give us, or the gloves and the helmet, because the gloves, if you have 2 pieces, it gives 30% increased attack speed, and the helmet gives, with 2 pieces, gives a shitload of attack rating, and the belt, or the boots with 2 pieces gives 50 magic find. So we'll hang on to the Saigons and hope, and if we find other pieces, great. Oh, here's Dark Elder, one of my favorite monsters in the game, and he's dead. There's a Gladius, that also wouldn't be a bad weapon if you're a one-handing. Oh, a skull. Now crowns, if we can get a 3-socket one, again we can make something cool. Probably a bulwark for our mercenary, or if we haven't found Cannot Be Frozen by then, a hearth for ourselves. That's the one benefit too of doing the sword and board version, is Rhyme Shield's a lot cheaper than Hearth and easier to do, and so you could get you could use a Rhyme Shield and have Cannot Be Frozen pretty easily, because it only takes a it's like a Shale F, I think. Come on, mercenary. So as you can see in this area, I'm not fighting everything. I'm not quite running past everything, but I'm not fighting everything. A big part of that is it's a pretty big area in the dark, and with the darkness and everything, you can, if you try and fight everything, you're gonna be here forever, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, but we're moving along. Okay. Let's see. This would go up. It's only. Let's do a point there. At some point, also, another thing we could give our mercenary that would be potentially helpful is if we can find a 3-open socket weapon for him, that with a good base, we can make a hustle. Well, it's not called hustle anymore, it's called mania or something. But basically it gives him a ton of attack speed and damage, but then it also gives him level 1 fanaticism aura. So if he's fighting right next to us, which he usually is, we would have access to fanaticism, which would be really awesome, because it's extra attack speed and damage. Although again, I don't think the damage actually applies to our calculation for Vengeance, because of the way Vengeance works. These charging guys are dangerous, as always. Only 1 socket. Lame. Speaking of those micro nod out moments, there's another one right there. Like I said, this new medication's supposed to help me with that, but so far it's not seeming to do much. Go back and get rid of a bunch of our BS. Okay. Back to the temple. Whack this dude. One thing fun to note, if you ever decide to make a Fist of Heaven's Paladin, or aka Holy Bolt, Holy Bolt, even though it's magic damage, does full damage to Unravelers even in Hell, where they're immune to magic. That is because Holy Bolt, has a special property where it ignores magic immunity and magic resistance for undead and demons. So, and it just can't do any damage to non-undead, non-demon monsters. Alright, let's just heal up. This super poison's kicking him in the butt. And he's bringing him back to the walls. Jeez. Cheap. Okay. Now, Fangskin is very dangerous, especially when he's fanaticism like this, so I don't know if we're gonna fight this. You gotta die. Jeez, why can't I hit him? Good lord. I don't know why I was not hitting him. That was really dumb. Oops. Go get my mercenary back since he died. And we're not going to worry about the rest of that, clearing the rest of that out. Oops. Now we'll go to the arcane. Arrow guy's hurt. Ow. As do the those big dudes. Those big dudes have crushing blow attack. And stun. A tower shield. So We're gonna make for the arcane here. There's a kite shield. Only one socket though. And as always, we have to guess on which direction to go because there's no way of knowing in the arcane. Holy biscuits and gravy! Look at how much damage we get off of this. Vengeance does work with charms that add damage. So this is like, and this is 9 the max you can get it on these. I think it's 10 or 12. So that's an insane drop for us. That's by far the best item we've dropped. Besides maybe Bonesnap. Wow, that's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Those also those now the only thing, now it's not perfect. I mean, it also has a good attack rating on it too. So if we look at our attack rating went from 3260 to 3570. Because remember, because that attack rating is before Vengeance's multiplier, which Vengeance adds 210%. So pretty strong. That was an amazing charm. We're never getting rid of that. Especially for Nightmare. That's the other part that makes it a little wild is a charm like that you'd expect to see in Hell, but even in Hell that would be a really good charm to drop because just how high it rolled. 9 damage is just very, very good. See, here's one of those moments where the narrow passageway actually worked in our favor. Because we would have gotten surrounded there and gotten really messed up. Now they're not immune, and the ghosts do have this mana burn built into their They have it innately, so be careful about that. Yeah, when they're funneled and have to fight us one at a time like this is actually really great for us. Ow, that guy did a lot of damage. Perfect, 3 sockets is exactly what we need. So we can make our hearth. For us, we don't have the stuff to make bulwark or cure yet. Actually, I think we could make cure, because I think we have a shell and an eye and a towel, but we don't have enough to make bulwark. But giving Hearth is going to be awesome for us, because there's a claymore there. It could be a potential weapon. Okay, let's go ahead and go here. Go back to town one more time. So, Shale Io Thul. Hearth. So faster hit recovery, a bunch of defense, 10 to vitality, so that's going to give us 30 life, because paladins get 3 per vitality point. Increase maximum life by 5%, so it's actually going to be more than 30 life. We're going to go all the way up to 704 when we wear this. Cold resist up by 46, so our cold res is like ridiculous. In fact, we can just completely take these off and put on venom grips for the crushing blow and the poison resist. Now we will lose some attack speed from that, but I don't think it should matter. And let's go conviction. So, and we also get cold absorb 15%, which is really crazy. And then we have cannot be frozen, and that's the main important part, is it cannot be frozen. So we definitely need some lightning res. So doesn't this bell have lightning res on it? It's only 8%. Maybe we do this. And what does our mercenary's helmet do? Lightning and fire resist, that's fine. Okay, so we do have an Ort rune here. Actually, okay, so we have an Ort rune here. We need a soul rune to do lore, but I don't think we're going to worry about lore, so let's actually get rid of this. So the next one we're trying to do is Hearth, which is Shale Io, Cure, Shale Io Tal, or Bulwark, which is Shale Io Soul, and we don't have any of those, so we're pretty far off of doing that. We'll check the attack speed, and then if we have to switch back to our gloves, we will. But right now yeah. And our Merce has great resistances as well. Oop, wrong one. And we did First Way, Arcane Sanctuary, so everyone, yay for First Way. Triangle. So it's going to be the second last temple going this way. Battle Axe. Battle Axe. Oh man. Yeah, it looks like our attack speed is still fine. We may have lost a frame. I don't have the IAS calculator up, so. Ow. Whenever we get low like that, we want to give ourselves a second, let that health pot tick up, and then go back in. Sometimes a small tactical tree like that will save your life rather than just standing your ground and getting murderlated. Okay. So hopefully there's no unravelers in there, because they'll start bringing those ghosts back to life, which would be annoying. Looks like there is. Get him dead. A lot of them, actually. So ghosts and unraveler packs and ghoul lords. Not the worst spawns. Mercenary gained level, that's always great. Shadow Bite, Cold Enchanted, and Teleportation. We don't care about your cold damage, we laugh at it. Holy. Let's circle around, go straight for the Unraveler. Having our resistances massively improved by our helmet is really helping us as far as safety. And the fact we have Cannot Be Frozen now. Now, one thing to note, Cannot Be Frozen does not work against Duriel's aura, because it's Holy Freeze, which is technically it chills you, it doesn't freeze you, so you still get slowed by it, even if you have Cannot Be Frozen. Which is a little BSy, but it is what it is. If we have used Holy Freeze, we get the same benefit, so. Ow. This is going to be a difficult room. Alright, that room was a bit of a pile. Okay. So yeah, so for Duriel, even though we do now have Cannot Be Frozen, it's not going to keep us from being slowed, but we should be pretty safe against him because his Holy Freeze damage is actually going to like basically heal us, as we're going to drink a thawing potion before we fight him, which will give us 50 extra cold res and plus 5 maximum res, which is going to put our cold all the way up to 80 or 90 or something. It gives extra to your cap. And so we will essentially be, and then we have 15% absorb on top of that. So his cold damage is basically gonna like do nothing. Ooh, a socketed ethereal pike. Could potentially be something for the merc. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't need any upgrades right now. And only one socket. Ooh, a rare ring, we want that. Ugh, it's poopy. That sucks. Just way more water. Alright. Not super guarded. Okay. Put the staff in the orifice. We're going to go back to town and we're going to pre-buff, and then we're going to go in there and we're going to kick Duriel's ass. So we'll give him 30, 60, 90, 2 minutes of 90 cold res, and ourselves 2 minutes of 85 cold res, plus 15 cold absorb. So we're literally cold damage does not hurt us. And then we crushing blow him once there. Every time you see that red swirl when I hit him like that, that means we hit a crushing blow. And we have 45% chance because we have 40 from Bonesnap, plus we have another 30 or another 5%, sorry, from Venom Grips. So we're chunking him here pretty good. Okay, so we face tanked him and composite bow, big sword. Oh, plus no attack rate, I'm gonna do that. I was hoping our mercenary would live, but that was pretty wishful thinking. So we have a 20% increased attack speed, very fast attack speed battle sword here with some attack rating and mana leech. Again, if we were doing sword and board, this would be a fine weapon, but we're not. We could potentially use it for an Act 5 merc, but we have an insight on our Act 2 merc, so we're going to keep that. And this is a really cool find. Rogue's Bow. The damage is bad, but 50% IAS, and it's a very fast attack speed base, 62 attack rating, double damage to undead, 30% deadly strike, which is another double damage. It's the same as critical strike, but calculated separately, and all resistance plus 10. This thing's great. If you upped it, it'd be fine. But mainly you see this thing, you see the Rogue's Bow, even though it does a bunch of physical stuff, like you mainly see it because of the attack speed on Elemental Bow is on, because with Explosive Arrow, this thing fires so fast that you just melt the screen. Yeah, it's a very, very cool bow. But we'll just throw that in the shared because we're not doing bows. So. And Lysander, give me some potions, dog. Thank you. We'll go ahead and resurrect our mercenary. And then we're going to go to Act 3. Talk to Mashif. I'm very irritated what they did with Mashif in Act 4, or Diablo 4. Turning him into a blithering idiot. He's like, yeah, he's a sailor, but he's incredibly well spoken and like, kind of like smooth in this. Like he speaks really well. Like he doesn't seem like the type that would be just like a blithering drunk. So the fact that they turned him into a blithering drunk, like, yeah, I know he's seen some shit, but like, he's already seen some shit and he's not like that. So it just really bothered me. And also they changed his voice. Like, I get that you can't get the same voice actor, but he went from like a very well spoken dude to like basically Alcor. Like, what the hell? That makes no sense. And yeah, well, that part I remember I was playing for my first playthrough. I was playing with a buddy, and we were playing through together. And when we got there, I literally said out loud, I was like, "This is fucking bullshit. What did they do to Mashif?" Okay, so we've made it to Act 3. I'll go ahead and put Saigons in the stash. See what this sword does. Plus 2 barbarian skill levels and a bunch of attack speed. We're not doing that, so. But this is where we're going to end for tonight. Bit of a shorter stream, but it's getting a little late and I haven't had dinner yet, so I should probably do that. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for this evening. Of course, I will upload this to YouTube. I know I didn't upload the last portion, but I just didn't think it was a very good video. I was in a lot of pain. My back's been bothering me and I was kind of tilting, and so I just felt like it wasn't good content and it wasn't a good reflection on me, so I'm not going to be posting that section. But basically all we did anyway was kill Duriel a few times and do some farming on some terror zones. So anyway, this will be essentially be part, I think, 5, and then we'll be next stream, which should be tomorrow afternoon after my medical appointment. Should be Act 3. And then maybe part of Act 4, and then maybe we'll do Act 4 and 5 together. It kind of depends on how it goes, but Act 4 is so short that I don't want it to be like its own stream. Like, it makes sense for the videos for it to be its own thing, but I don't know. We'll see. I also might just split the stream and be like stream for a little bit in the morning, do Act 4, and then stream in the afternoon. So we'll see. But anyway, thanks guys so much for your support and for watching and chatting and joining the Discord and everything. It really does mean a lot to me. It's been really fun. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys with part 6. We'll see you guys at Nightmare Act 3 next time. Have a good night.